These are the victims of police brutality. Those were the words of NASA leader Raila Odinga, who, alongside other leaders, accompanied post-poll victim families to pick the bodies for the burials. The NASA leader also asked the police to respect human life. He further castigated the United States for asking him to call off the planned swearing-in ceremony that is scheduled to be held on the 12th of December. Cecilia Wakesho was there and now joins us from our City Center studio. Cecilia, good afternoon. What else did the leaders say?
Thank you, Betty. Indeed, it was a very sad day, a somber mood there at City Mortuary in Nairobi, where we had family one after the other coming to collect bodies of their loved ones. Up to 16 bodies were being collected today of people who lost their lives in what has been termed as police brutality. Remember when NASA leader Raila Odinga had just returned from the US on November of 17th. We had several people losing their lives. Again, we had some people dying on 19th of November in some clashes that were witnessed in Ruaraka area of Nairobi. And just the other day, during the swearing-in of President Uhuru Kenyatta, when you had a parallel rally that was scheduled to take place in Jacaranda grounds by NASA Brigade to mourn these families. Then we also had that day one 7-year-old Geoffrey Mutindwa losing his life, something that has been condemned by the leaders who came to City Mortuary to mourn with these families. Remember, 11 bodies at City Mortuary. We have 2 other bodies at Kenyatta National Hospital, and 3 other bodies are in Chiromo Mortuary. But all these bodies were being collected today. Some say they're going to bury their loved ones tomorrow or the day after. But Betty, what came out clear was that NASA leader Raila Odinga really condemning these killings. In fact, he bashed at the police, who have come out to say that it is only 5 people who died. For example, on the day when he had returned from the US, we had police coming out saying that it is only 5 people who are killed. In fact, he said those 5 were not killed. There are actually 5 people who are killed by bullets, and that the rest died as a result of mob justice. So Raila maintained that these people have been killed as a result of police brutality. And remember, to these families, NASA have had to come in. They have actually catered for the burial arrangements, the coffins, the transport arrangements, as well as 50,000 shillings for each and every family that have lost their loved one. But again, what came out was that Raila Odinga bashed at the US government, the foreign embassies. He said they've not even said anything. They've not even condemned these killings. So I want us to take a listen to what he had to say to the foreign embassies. Betty.
Friends of Kenya, who are represented in this country. Up to today, not a single embassy or ambassador has raised their voice to condemn this wanton killing of innocent Kenyan people. On the day that we arrived from the United States, coming into town, through a peaceful procession, we lost 18 lives by the time we arrived at the Uhuru Park. 2 days later, innocent Kenyans were butchered at Ruaraka. Since that time up to now, 215 people have been killed. Nobody's talking about it. Yet they have the impudence and audacity to come and advise us, forget and move on. We do not recognize the elections of 26th of October this year. We do not, and we will not recognize them. That's why we have said that we do not recognize the swearing in into office as a result of the so-called elections of 26th of October. We don't. We will go by the result of elections of 8th of August, when the Kenyans expressed their will. And we will not be intimidated. The Kenyan problems will be resolved by Kenyan people. Our friends can give us advice. Give those advice in private. Don't come and shout at us and tell us that we are going to violate Constitution. Which Constitution, my foot? We, as Kenyans, will solve the Kenyan problem as Kenyans. And we are talking on behalf of millions and millions of Kenyan people. The will of the Kenyan people is not going to be stopped. It's unstoppable.
Yes.
We will move and we will do what is right for the people of Kenya.